Hey guys, I'm going to do a quick video to show you guys my workflow and how I find products to dropship. So what I've seen people do is they'll find a product and then post it, and then find a product and then post it. That ends up, like when you first start, you kind of have to do that just to get used to the workflow, but after you posted, even just a couple things, you really want to focus on just posting. You don't want to waste too much time trying to figure out what to sell because ultimately you don't know what's going to sell. You have to try and then see if it sells. So you want to base your decisions off of results of listings, of what sells and what gets attention, not of what you think would be a good thing to sell. Because you can waste tons of time doing that. And I'm going to use Home Depot. It's not the only source that I use, but it's the one I started using, and I'm sure what a bunch of David Vu's students start to use as well. So usually what I do is I go to the search bar, and then I look around the room for one key term. So there's some boxes up there. So let's do box. And then it's going to get a bunch of results. Let's see, it's got, okay, 1,400 results. That's way too many. And of course, like, I don't want to dropship all these. They're not ideal. What I target is products that cost me between $50 and $150, right? So we're going to go here and then type that in and then do search. And you also have to, the only thing I'm looking at right now is I'm going to go down this list and make new tabs, right? And I'm just going to see what the shipping options are. Because if it's, these are all, you can get a sense of how much something's going to cost to ship based on the item. I don't really care. I just want to make sure it's not freight. Because freight items require you to call the person they're going to before they get delivered. There's an extra step. So some items are heavy and they automatically get delivered without that phone call. That's perfectly fine. But anytime that you require the buyer to get back to you, you want to shy away from that, because I mean, with drop shipping, at least for me, I'm targeting people who kind of frivolously spend their money, and the more interactions we have, the more likely they are for something to go wrong. So I just go down this list, and normally I'll make a list of 70 to 100 items. For the purposes of this video, I'm only going to do like 10. So we just do like this, and notice I'm not thinking too much. I already know these are all within my price range and they're not freight. So we just keep going and keep going. And so normally I would keep going and keep going and keep going. And I would then go to the second page, and then I would continue going down and adding and making this list much, much, much bigger, to the point where they're just tiny little tabs that you can't even see the Home Depot logo. And okay, you don't want to keep all of those tabs open on your computer. And it also depends how good your computer is, because, the better computer, the more tabs you can handle at once. But one thing that makes this doable for almost anyone, even if they don't have a great computer, is a tool called Session Buddy. Session Buddy is an extension for the Chrome internet browser. It might also be on other internet browsers, but I'm not sure. And the way it works is it just saves the tabs that you have. So see, this is my current session right here. These are all my old ones. And this is the one window I have open with all of my Home Depot tabs. So I don't actually need that one. So I'm going to go to save and then type drop shipping Home Depot box search. Cool. So now I could exit out of this. I don't need to keep this open. I can go do whatever it is I'm going to do with my day. And then when I do want to come sit down and list some items, then I'll just open Session Buddy and I'll go over here and then I'll just click on this. And that will automatically open all of my tabs. And it takes a moment because your computer's trying to load 10 to 100 things at once. So depending on your computer, that'll change how many you can do at once. But this is, I think, something that more people should do, where they make lists of items and then they start posting things. It really helps with your workflow and helps you speed up the amount of time, or it really reduces the amount of time you spend per each thing getting listed. If you're looking for something and then listing it, you're going to take much longer than if you find like 10, 20 items. Like, how long did that take me? I found 10 items in like less than 3 minutes, right? And so for 100 items, it would only take like, like maybe 15 minutes. But I know one of the people I've talked to, they might take like an hour to find like 5 items, So it's really important that when you are drop shipping, you are spending time listing. Listing is productive. Everything else is part of the business, but it's not going to grow your business. Listing products is what you want to do. And ultimately, what it boils down to is, or what becoming a successful dropshipper boils down to, is your ability to regularly list things over an extended period of time. Typically, people will get little bursts and then they'll kind of stop, they'll give up. But you can't do that. You have to implement it into some kind of daily structure where every single day you list one item, maybe two items. As long as you're doing something every single day and you get that into your habit, it will work out. So this is just how I make the lists. And then typically, okay, so I have 3 monitors. I have one there on the right, one there on the left, and then the center one. You guys can only see my center monitor right now. So I'm going to move all of these tabs over to my left monitor, and then I'll open another tab here, and I'll show you how I set up my actual eBay part. So then I have my items to list, and I have my programs to list them, and then from there I could just move forward. So I start off. I have 3 tabs actually, and I think this is pretty typical. I'm sure most people do something similar to this. You go to sell, and this is where you're gonna enter the item and start selling it, right? So I'm just waiting for eBay to load. It's taking a while. I guess that doesn't really matter. Second one, I use Title Builder. You guys know what this is, I'm sure. And then the third one is UPC Site Main Database, and that's for all your UPC codes and everything. So then I would go here, click on Sell. It's being slow for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. Well, he's all loaded. eBay's just taking its time. This doesn't matter so much. It's just going to go to the... Oh, I just re-clicked it, didn't I? Okay, so create listing, single listing. And then this is going to be, yeah, here we go. So now I would go, I guess it might make more sense to have Title Builder as the first tab because this is what you start out with. So I'd go over here and then, okay, so boxes, moving boxes. And then, you guys know this part. This is everything David Vu teaches in all the YouTube videos as well. And I think that's everything. I just wanted to point out again that it's really important to not spend too much time thinking about what to post. You want to get as much experience posting things as possible. Once you've listed 1,000 items or 2,000 items, then you have a good sense of what to post. So then you can spend time thinking about it because it's going to be much, much, much more efficient that way. Okay, cool. Tried to keep that short. Hope that kept your attention. Thanks.